This is my presentation for the Project 2 for human-computer interaction. So I'm going to quickly go through the dashboards that I found and list a quick pros and cons of each of them before I get to my version. So here we have a 2017 Honda CR-V. It's very simple, very easy to use. The fuel bar at the very bottom is very concise and it would be easy to track how much fuel you have left. It's noticeably missing more modern comforts like fuel efficiency and the little LED panels like that. Um, the the warning lights are in kind of cluttered and should be more spaced out. And the color scheme on this would not be suitable for people with red-green color blindness since the important colors are red and green. Next one is a 2019 Ford Explorer. It only has a speedometer, doesn't have a tachometer. You have two panels on the side. The left covers your fuel efficiency, settings, things of that nature. Your right side has navigation, uh, entertainment, and phone. No, a bad part of this design is the fact that the panel to the left, the only way to see fuel is to have that on distance to empty on the fuel efficiency. If you don't have it there, you cannot see your fuel. Uh, it's really nice that it has the navigation on the side though, as it stops the user from having to look around too much to and take their eyes off the road. And having all the warning lights and straight lines at the top and bottom of the LCD panels are really nice. The next one is from Unknown Car that I found. It has three main dial sections. It has a tachometer, it has a speedometer, and then it has the heating and fuel gauge. I would have liked the driving mode indicator to be somewhere else, probably more centralized in the center near the top. Same thing with the fuel, as having to move your eyes down that far can be a problem. And it's also very simple, so a user be able to hop in the car and drive. But if you wanted more uh, useful things out of it, you wouldn't get it. This is my car, a Ford F-150 from 2011. It has a tachometer and a speedometer. It has the four dials up top for uh, oil pressure, coolant temperature, fuel, and transmission temperature, as well as an LCD panel, which allows you to show the fuel economy and whatnot. Out of the five that I have, this is my favorite, and this is also what I based my hand-drawn version off of. Uh, the only things that I have a problem with is that it doesn't have warning lights for things like low fuel or not low fuel, low oil pressure, since it has the dial for that, and the dial for transmission temp and coolant temp are not super useful and are a bit redundant to have both of them. Third one is the Tesla dashboard, which is entirely digital. I do not like digital. I think it causes more problems than it's worth. Although a user is able to customize it as much as they want, it can be confusing. And having the panel off to the side that's touchscreen with such small dials that also controls the dashboard, means that if you were to try to touch a button and miss, you have to worry about hitting that button again while driving, which could be a problem. So I've my personal uses of the usual of everything except for the fuel economy. I use that quite a lot. And then uncommon uses would be on my truck, I could see the pitch and the rotation of my vehicle, mileage, the settings and whatnot. I don't care too much for that. So like I said, I base mine off of the Ford F-150s. I moved the symbols from below the dial to above the dial, and also would make the symbols light up for warning. So instead of it just being white, if there was a warning, it would flash yellow like it should. I kept the dials the same. I changed the panels a bit. I got rid of the top dial as that just kind of showed the temperature of the engine, and I moved that into truck apps. And I replaced it with the navigation panel because navigation on a dashboard is very useful, and I wish my truck had it. So here's what it is. You'd have your navigation panel, your trip A to B, your fuel economy page, and fuel history. Engine temp would be under the truck apps. As long would be off-road, and then you have your settings and your vehicle information.